வணக்கம். தமிழகத்தில் தேர்தல் திருவிழா தொடங்கிவிட்டது. மாநிலம் முழுவதும் சென்று தமிழகத்தின் முக்கிய தலைவர்கள் ஒரு பக்கம் பிரச்சாரம் செய்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னா, தேசிய தலைவர்களும் தமிழகத்தில் முகாமிட தொடங்கி இருக்கிறார்கள். காங்கிரஸ் முக்கிய தலைவர் ராகுல் காந்தியின் தமிழக பயணம் தமிழக அரசியல் வட்டாரத்தில் பரபரப்பை ஏற்படுத்தியிருக்கிறது. ஏற்கனவே ஜல்லிக்கட்டுக்கு வந்து பார்வையிட்டு சென்ற அவர் 3 நாள் பயணமாக தமிழகம் வந்திருக்கிறார். இன்று தந்தி டிவி நேயர்களோடு இணைந்திருக்கிறார். Rahulji, vanakkam.
Namaskar. Vanakkam.
How is Tamil Nadu treating you?
Very nice, very nicely. I always enjoy Tamil hospitality. Tamil people have a very positive attitude, positive energy. So I always like my visits here, and I always learn something from my visits.
Enjoying Tamil food, sir?
Yeah.
Identified any favorites so far?
General stuff. I mean, whatever they're giving me, I'm eating. So nothing in particular, but yeah, I like Tamil food.
You travel far and wide this great nation. How would you contrast the political ethos and climate in Tamil Nadu with the rest of the country?
I mean, the BJP has spread hatred across our country. They have divided the nation. They are carrying out policies that are detrimental to the foundation of this country. And I said demonetization, GST, look at their response in COVID. They waived lakhs of crores of rupees for 15-20 people. And they were not ready to give buses or trains to laborers. So they have vitiated the entire atmosphere. Tamil Nadu is unique in that anger, that division is not here right now. But the BJP is trying to bring it. The BJP is trying to divide Tamil Nadu, trying to create that anger and hatred, and I'm
confident. Do you think that can work here?
No, I don't think so. Because the wall that is standing in front of the BJP is Tamil culture, Tamil language, Tamil energy system.
You speak about Tamil culture, Tamil pride and protecting that, but people would question the timing just ahead of the elections.
I've been speaking the same language for the last 15 years in my political career. I've always said, every single time I've come here, I have said that Tamil culture is unique. India is a country that is made up of many languages, many histories, many cultures. India is not one history, India is not one culture, India is not one idea. And if we do not take what is powerful, what is dynamic about our different languages, our different cultures, our different ways of thinking, then we are diminishing our own country. So that has always been my philosophy. And it is certainly not something that I'm saying just before the elections. I mean, look at any speech of mine, look at any single speech I made in Tamil Nadu, I have always said that.
One might ask, you speak about Jallikattu, you take part in that sport, you witness that sport, but the very sport was banned during the UPA time.
We didn't ban it. One of our ministers commented about it, but we did not ban Jallikattu.
Dr. Manmohan Singh called it a cruel
correct,
sport.
Right? We never banned it.
Dr. Manmohan Singh called it a cruel sport in a letter, sir.
Well, look, I saw Jallikattu. I saw it with my own eyes, okay? And what I saw was a sport where there was protection for the bull, there was protection for the people, there was soft hay on the ground, and I did not see the so-called brutality of Jallikattu. I did not see it. In fact, I called up my sister and I was like, in fact, if there is any danger, it is to the people, not to the bull. So I got that sense. Now, there is a possibility that if you do Jallikattu without a infrastructure, where you do it without the support that it should get, then you might hurt the bull. So the answer is to make the sport safe. Make the sport safe for the bull, make the sport safe for the people, and enjoy the sport, enjoy the drama in respecting both the bull and the people.
The Ministry of Environment and Forest listed bulls as animals banned from exhibition.
I am not of the view that every single person in the Congress party has to have the same view on something, right? I have my view, and I think myself, and I represent a big chunk of the ideas of the Congress party. I think that Jallikattu can be done safely, humanely, in a pleasant way. So I don't see the problem.
You enjoyed that sport.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, it was nice. It was nice.
And you speak about protecting the Tamil people. Your critics also allege it was during the UPA time, under UPA's watch, lakhs of people were killed in neighboring Sri Lanka, not very far away from here, sir.
Yeah.
Is that a regret that you hold?
I think that was a terrible crime committed by the Sri Lankan government, and it is unforgivable.
People believe the UPA could have stopped it, the then Indian government could have stopped it.
We put pressure, we did everything we could to stop it.
What will Congress party do to elevate the place of Tamil culture, Tamil ethos and other great regional cultures?
This is not, Congress party doesn't, it is not that we need to protect the Tamil people. Please don't, don't diminish the power of the Tamil people. Nobody needs to protect it. Rahul Gandhi is not going to come here and protect the Tamil people. You don't need that. Okay. But the question is mutual respect. Do I respect your language? Do I respect your way of being? Do I talk to you as an equal? Do I try to force my idea onto you? Or do I say, listen, I disagree with you about this. Tell me why you think this. And do I engage in a conversation? Right? My problem with the RSS BJP dispensation is that they think they have all the answers. I come to Tamil Nadu with humility and I say, you know what, when it comes to Tamil Nadu, the Tamil people have the answers. I have to understand their perspective. I have to respect, I have come to their house. I have come to their home. I have to behave like that. I have to respect their culture. If I don't understand something, I got to say, what is that? Why are you doing it like that? Why are you not doing it like that? But it has to be mutual respect.
You connect naturally with them. Why is that?
Because I love them. Because I genuinely have a relationship with the Tamil people from my grandmother's time, from my father's time, where it is a mutual affection.
Do you remember what your grandmother or your father have spoken about this state, this culture?
No, I remember many incidents, but it's a feeling. You know, in fact, when my grandmother used to go to the south, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, she always used to come back excited, you know, some excitement was always
This
there.
part of the country has supported it even during the toughest times, even post-emergency, this part of the country stood behind her.
Yeah, no, and there's a reason. Because we don't come at Tamil Nadu with arrogance. We come with humility and we come as people who want to understand and people who want to learn. And the same thing we expect from the Tamil people.
You believe the current dispensation approaches Tamil Nadu with an arrogance?
Yeah.
The BJP government. But they point out the Prime Minister speaks about Tamil, he speaks about Thirukural in world stage. So he also talks about Tamil as Rahul Gandhi does.
See, what comes out of the mouth and what is in the heart are two different things.
You believe he doesn't mean it.
What is in the heart and what is on the mouth, what comes in the mouth, they don't necessarily need to be the same thing. There can be people who have something in the heart and then something else comes out of the mouth. And then there are people, and this is called truth, who what is inside here comes out of here.
I get
Every
it.
Tamil person, every single Tamil person knows that the Prime Minister has contempt for the Tamil people. Prime Minister thinks that he has a better understanding of the world than the Tamil people or everybody else.
During this trip of yours, you have interacted with various sections of Tamil Nadu. What is your key takeaway from this particular trip? What is your key learning?
That Tamil Nadu is a extremely dynamic state with huge potential, can show India the way forward in a number of places, in a number of ways, and that potential is not being maximized. So that's how I feel.
What have you learned from this trip? You have interacted with various sections of people.
Well, what have I learned? I've spoken to weavers. I've spoken to farmers now. I've spoken to a lot of regular people. And the sense I have is that the industrial dynamism of Tamil Nadu that we saw in the past years, the power of the small and medium businesses of Tamil Nadu, the entrepreneurship of Tamil Nadu, that has fallen back. And it has not fallen back because of the Tamil people. It has fallen back because of course, the policies of the central government, demonetization, which is extremely destructive and damaging, completely flawed GST, 5 different taxes, their response in COVID. So, of course, it has been damaged by the central government and Mr. Narendra Modi's policies, which has weakened the economy of the whole country. But it has also been damaged because of the current government in Tamil Nadu that is essentially controlled by the BJP.
Why do you say so?
Well, I mean, we were in a meeting of farmers today. I asked the question, how many of you supported demonetization? Everybody said demonetization was a disaster. That's the voice of the Tamil people. I asked the question to the small and medium businesses. I asked the question to the farmers again. How many of you like GST? Not a single person said he likes GST. Everybody said GST is rubbish. Did the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu condemn demonetization? Did they tell Narendra Modi that this is completely unacceptable? Did they tell the Prime Minister that look, this GST is completely useless?
The late Chief Minister Jayalalitha did.
No, I mean the current person.
No.
Is he contradicting the BJP? Is he fighting the BJP? Is he challenging the BJP when the BJP is doing stuff that is completely out of order? I don't see it happening.
You have proposed an alternative to GST. You have spoken about GST reform, one tax and minimum tax. How does that actually work?
Well, we are the people, the UPA is the system that came out with the concept of a GST. GST is goods and service tax. It is not goods and service taxes. It is one tax. Across the world, the concept of a GST is one tax. We told the government that this is going to be a long drawn out negotiation. This is something where you have to have conversations. This is something where you have to listen to different states. You have to work with different states to arrive at the destination of a GST. You cannot force the GST. The government was intent on making the GST happen immediately. So they did not carry out the hard work, the negotiations, the difficult negotiations to arrive at one GST. We don't believe this is a GST. A GST by definition is one tax, minimum tax. A GST by definition is a simplification. This is a complication. This is massive rent seeking taking place. So we have committed that we will ensure one tax, minimum tax, and we will do the hard work and the conversations that are required to get to that destination. This is a complex task. The problem with the BJP and the Narendra Modi is that they do not listen to other people. They think that everything can be done just because you want it to be done. India is a complicated country. India has many different nuances and you have to carry people to take them to a certain place. This thing is causing more damage to our economy than no GST. And we have to take action quickly to turn this monster that is there into a real GST, which is one tax, minimum tax and simplification. The idea, the concept of GST was simplification. They have complicated it.
We witness a wave of nationalism across the country. Do you think this endangers the liberal ethos of this country and this constitution?
Why do you call it nationalism? Today, the Chinese are sitting inside our borders. 5 people knew about Balakot. The Prime Minister, Defence Minister, Air Force Chief, NSA and Home Minister. Which one of these 5 people told a journalist 3 days before the Balakot strike that the Indian Air Force was going to do something? Which one?
You believe there
is that nationalism?
You believe there is a compromise in national security?
Is telling a journalist a national secret and endangering the lives of our Air Force pilots nationalism? Is sitting in New Delhi as the Prime Minister, and when the Chinese walk into Indian territory, you lie to the people and you say nobody has walked into this country, and then 2 or 3 days later the Army Chief and the Defence Minister say no, sorry, people have walked in. Is that nationalism? Which world are we living in? Is destroying the Indian economy, demonetization, GST, nationalism? Our biggest strength is our economy. Everybody used to say 9% growth, India, China. Now where are we? We have a disaster on our hands.
But
we cannot give employment to our youngsters.
The whole world is slowing down?
No, the world is not slowing down. In fact, if you look at the recovery profiles, of all the major economies, they're completely different than India. India's problem started much before COVID. India's problem started when we did demonetization, and then when we imposed a floored GST, and then when we reacted to COVID. I told the government in February, please, for God's sake, do something. Nothing.
They're now confident of a V-shaped recovery, aren't you?
Listen, take it from me, there's no V-shaped recovery. The COVID problem is not over. The COVID problem is very much there, and the government is again getting distracted from the fundamentals.
You believe this COVID pandemic is just a smoke screen of
this
already existing
pandemic
problems?
Is there. It is not going away that easily, and it is again being mishandled.
Talking about Tamil Nadu,
we have to now end because
the last 2 questions about Tamil Nadu. Talking about Tamil Nadu, how battle ready is the Congress party to face the 2021 elections?
We have an alliance. We have a very clear idea of what we can do and what we bring to the table for the Tamil people. And I've been saying it in all my meetings. I think we are in a very, very decent position. I think our alliance is going to sweep the election. How
well are you committed to the DMK-led alliance?
We are committed to the alliance.
Are you, open to new allies, new partners?
No, we are committed. We have a relationship. We had a relationship with Karunanidhi ji. We have a relationship with Mr. Stalin, and
you believe he is the next chief minister?
There's no question that we have a relationship, and we're going to work.
Is Kamal Haasan a friend of the Congress party?
Look, everybody who is opposing the BJP, everybody who's opposing the virulent ideas of the RSS is our friend.
How would you rate the performance of the current AIADMK dispensation?
I've said that the current government is controlled by the Prime Minister of India.
Rahulji, we have come to the end of this interview. What would you like to tell the viewers in Tamil Nadu?
I'd like to say that to the younger generation, to the youngsters, I'd like to say that you're the future of this state. This state has tremendous potential. I see this state as leading the revival of manufacturing in this country. You have everything that is required. You have the small and medium businesses. You have the innovative youngsters. Today I met some youngsters 5-6 people who've built a satellite. So you have innovation, you have dynamism. You must make sure that you build a solid future for this state. And you must realize that your culture, your language, your traditions are under attack. And they are under attack from an ideology that is determined to control your future.
Thank you very much. Thank you for talking to Thanthi TV. A pleasure meeting you, Rahul Gandhi. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you very much.